the ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hankook Tire.
Welcome back to the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia. You joined us at the Sepang International Circuit for our 19th round of the MotoGP World Championship. It does not get any more tense than this. Potentially any more dramatic than this. The stakes could not be higher. The biggest race of the season is going. It's lights out, we're racing here. In Sepang MotoGP, Martin runs wide. Bagnaia seizes the inside line. Oh no, it's damage by the back. Big crash by the back. The biggest prize on two wheels is on the line next live. It's time to race in MotoGP.
As you can actually see, the shininess on my head, drips of sweat is falling off of it because we are all ready for another session, another round of spectacular racing. Satu perlombaan yang dinanti-nantikan iaitu Malaysia Touring Car Championship untuk round yang kedua. Di Sepang International Circuit ini, dah bising dah sebenarnya, kereta semua dah keluar. Tapi tak apa, jangan risau, Mio Adlan akan menemani anda together with Erin Cheong. Erin, is getting loud.
Yes, but it's amazing to join you guys here. Amazing to be here again
Betul.
on the track of Sepang International Circuit. Wonderful, spectacular event that is going to be. Now, this is round 2, race 1 that is happening today on a Saturday, Mio.
Betul, exactly. But before we get into what's going to be happening down here, we need to remind you. We do want to remind you, kami nak ingatkan anda kerana apa? Satu event ataupun satu perlombaan yang dinanti-nantikan akan berlangsung pada 24 hingga 26 Oktober nanti.
Yes.
Tak lain tak bukan, that is the Petronas Malaysia Grand Prix of Malaysia 2025 happening. So tickets are selling as hotcakes right now.
Yes, definitely. And of course, those of you who are looking to grab your tickets, make sure to head to MyHips because right now we're having a special event of Auto Speed. And you can visit the Sepang International Circuit booth at Hall A and you can actually get 25% off for your tickets to the Petronas Grand Prix happening as Mio mentioned
Banyak
earlier.
murah tu,
Yes.
murah tu dia nak jual tu.
25. And you get free gift, you know.
Tak, dapat free gift lagi tu sebenarnya. So, okay, enough about the Grand Prix because that's happening as mentioned in October. What's happening now? As mentioned, at the Thunderdome, that is the Petronas Sepang International Circuit, round 2, race 1 of the Malaysia Touring Car Championship. Is going to be happening. As you can see behind us, all the cars just went out. We're at the pit area here, but later on we're going to be speaking to the drivers when they are on the tracks. Are you excited about this? Your second appearance, you must be excited.
I'm super
Happy.
excited. I can't wait to speak to some of our drivers. I want to see how they're going to maneuver to the round 2, race 1 this time. Now, of course, Malaysia, we're feeling a bit of a heat wave that is going on, a bit of hazy situation that is going on in Malaysia, but of course, it's hot cakes on the track here and the race don't stop.
Okay, as we can see, Adi Rahimi just made an appearance there. Definitely he's going to be, you know, one of the contenders for the podium. Hopefully he can bring it down. Okay, I hope that I didn't jinx him. But somebody who's going to be commentating on it, who's going to be talking a lot about the race is none other than Nick. And once again, Finally, I've not seen him for a while. My brother from another mother.
I've not seen him at all.
You've not seen him at all. Another shiny brother of mine who's very comfortable in the aircon right now. Jeev, guys, take it away.
Yes, hi. Hi, Mio, and very nice to meet you, Arena. I'm sure I'll see you around. I said first time or second time for her. And my first appearance for the MTCC Championship, Nick.
Yeah, indeed. Good to
I'm
have you
glad I
back,
made it.
Jeev.
I was on a 2 a.m. flight this morning from China, and this is the only championship that I actually fly back for.
Yeah, amazing. We had a long conversation. You had a 16-hour flight. You drove back from Sepang.
Oh yeah, it was
had 2 hours sleep, and you're here.
Essentially, this time yesterday, I was in Changzhou, China, on court 1 for the China Open Badminton. So it's surreal. It's almost like a dream, but I've done it again. I did it last year as well. I somehow made it, and it's brilliant, of course, because the Malaysia Touring Car Championship is something brand new for 2025. Yes, it does have a lot of the drivers that took part in MCS. Yes, it does have a lot of the cars and the same kind of engine capacity as MCS. But as I was describing to Nick earlier on, the MCS was a touring car championship for Malaysia. MTCC is Malaysia's entry into global touring car racing. It's an entirely different viewpoint. And the reason they've had to do this is because, as I said to Nick, MTCC did not put 60 cars on the grid here at Sepang for these weekends. MCS did. It's been happening. Well, it was 77 last year. It was, you know, at one point I think it was 78. And you take that with S1K's subscription, there were too many cars on the grid. This makes it a far more compact championship. And what it means is ultimately that all of these guys you see in these cars right now are going to get a lot more exposure on the global circuit, because this is Malaysia's touring car championship.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fantastic.
I think the rebranding came at such a pivotal moment because the series was already expanding. And Sepang looked at it and said, why not we take it to another level by rebranding it to global standards? And that's exactly what they've done. And it's been amazing, Jeev. The first round we saw a hugely competitive field. You know, there was some dominating performances.
Yeah,
and not forgetting, we are back to witnessing the MTC that's making its debut for the 2025 season.
Yeah, it's rolling starts. It's, you know, completely full. There's no asphalt free right now at the Sepang International Circuit for MTCC, because there's that many people that have subscribed. And it's, you know, there was already an advancement. It used to be the Malaysian Super Series. That was, I think, till 2011. I came on board about 2016. I think it was 2016, 2017. So this is my 9th year, I think. But even in that time, when it became Malaysia Championship Series, it was because more cars. They had to separate the classes after that. And you can't just keep doing it. There's obviously safety protocols, there's safety viewpoints that you have to have. So to have this Malaysian Touring Car Championship means that underneath this banner, you can now put different types of category of cars. You can have turbo cars, for example, if you wanted to. But it gives them a lot more kind of freedom to allow these drivers to come and race every weekend. And that's ultimately the point, because look at the likes of Adi Rahimi, look at the likes of Putra Adam, look at the likes of, you know, these youngsters are coming through. Hayden Heikel, who's now joining the grid again. I understand he wasn't here for round 1. I did try to catch up as much as I could on round 1, but very hectic schedule, so I caught a couple of races. I said we're going to get a recap from you, Nick, very, very soon. But for you guys, don't forget that this live stream has interviews.
It's hot here at the tracks, of course, and we're here with Hayden for the first race of MTC. Now, Hayden, how do you feel so far? Like, what is in your mind right now?
Nothing much really. You know, just preparing for the start. Yeah, first time we're starting this year. You know, we got a lot more cars compared to the first round, and yeah, just hoping for a more interesting start.
You look a bit too calm. I believe you have a strategy in line, or you know, something is about to play. What is your strength that you are looking for at this event?
I mean, for me, the perfect start would be, you know, both IRF cars being 1-2. No, I think that's really possible because, you know, we got Dime starting right behind me, and yeah, I'm calm because there's no one ahead of me. I don't have to think about anyone in front, so that's half pressure gone. You know, everyone else behind me is pretty quick as well, but I don't think they're gonna try any suicide moves down the first turn. So yeah.
Okay. So for you, it's all about keeping up the momentum and just, well, you speed ahead. Well, thank you so much, Hayden. And of course, back to our gentleman sitting in the AC.
Thank you very much, Arena, and great to see Hayden Heikel up at the front, as I guess that's where he's going to be most of the time, right?
Yeah, indeed. Good to have the MTC back, and good to have the likes of Hayden and also Rahul, who have been ambassadors for this series for such a long time,
Well,
Jeev.
I'm looking forward to seeing who's gone to which team, because that's what usually happens from season to season. Of course, they all know each other very, very well. It's like one big family of drivers. But it's interesting to see some of the big teams. I can already just see looking down the order. High Rev Dream Chaser, of course, is the big one. And they're topping the qualifying as well, but I think, is it just by numbers? No, yeah, I think.
No, they are.
Yeah.
They were fastest in qualifying
That doesn't
yesterday.
surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all.
The combination of Hayden and Rahul, which resulted in them taking pole position for the MTC.
Just quickly, Nick, interestingly enough, even though they're on the grid, some oil has actually been spotted on T7 and T8. Obviously, that's come from free practice, or, you know, there's
we
a
saw
couple other
live
championships
pictures
as well.
earlier of some cars on track, and I think it stemmed from that.
Well, T7, T7, 8 is pretty fast. It's when you drop down to T9 and 10. So drivers have to be careful for that one. That is actually the first race control information that I've had in a while. I said it's great to be back. It really is. I was really disappointed that I got to miss round one. But in your mind, just before we get to another interview, what was round one like?
Round one was dominated by several drivers, Jeev. If we go back to the MT2 category.
I know Fadzil Alang had a fantastic run.
Yep, that was in the TP category, but we're looking back at the MT2.
Well, just hold on to that, Nick, because we are going back down to the grid. Car number 24 is going to be talking to one of our hosts.
All right, guys, now I'm here at row 3 together with one of the best pairings. Oh, wait, that's what they say. We got Adi Rahimi and together in the car right now. Hendra, let's speak to Hendra first. Hendra, before I got to you, belum kita sembang tadi, actually one of your crews came down to you bagi last minute tactics for the start of the race. Anything that you can share with us ataupun you nak simpan rahsia je sebenarnya?
Yeah. Okay, alright. All I know is calm down, step out, exercise, and that's it.
Okay, and also the fact that you are the first driver and Adi's taking over daripada you nanti. Any expectations that you nak letak pada diri you to perform the best before the driver change?
Sorry, what? I tak dengar.
Okay, sorry tak. Okay, any things yang you nak share tak? Lepas ni, you akan pass kereta dekat Adi kan? Untuk the first round ni. So, macam mana you punya taktik untuk this one? Just push through ke macam mana?
Obviously push lah. Gonna get first, then control ready.
Okay. Cool. Alright, good luck to you. And tanya Adi juga, Adi. Expectations again, as mentioned, you guys come in here with proper expectations untuk you naik podium lagi to grab that first place at least. So, what is Hendra supposed to do nak menyenangkan kerja you sebenarnya?
Well, of course, for the start of the race, we try our best to, maintain the lead.
Okay.
But then we'll see first, later, first lap, and then from there we continue one by one to push and then focus to finish the race as high as we can.
Okay, of course. Okay, kita dah nak mula dah. Okay, wish luck to your partner.
Alright.
Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Mion. That's really interesting that just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, what Ali Rahimi was playing video games. And now he's talking like a professional racing driver on the front of the grid and topping the table, as I understand it, with 35 points after round one.
Yeah, that was what I was going to get at. They were just absolutely amazing in both those races. They won both those races comfortably, I might add. In fact, in the second race, this combination, Hendra Adiputra and Adi Rahimi, it started off with Jonathan Z in the lead, but that lead only lasted for 4 laps, Jeev. And after Hendra Adiputra overtook him, there was no turning back. They finished comfortably, and as a result, they have a 14-point lead in the MT2G category.
Well, that's the thing. This race is split into 2 classes, MT2G and MT2V. That interview we just had was with G. It doesn't surprise me to hear that these guys are having great runs. because they were having great runs in the previous MCS as well. They're used to the track, but Leon Ku's a very fast man if he gets the right strategy. But as you well know, I'm a big fan of Johnny Z. I've always been a big fan of Johnny Z. He's come out from Singapore and he's basically one of the fastest people.
Here. We see him.
Yeah.
We see him in almost every race.
And he's actually paired up with Mark Darwin this time. Man, that is Flash meets the Flash. CPM, is that CPM light, OPM light racing?
In fact, the top
So
three,
that's a new-
it looked like it could be a three-horse battle. We have Hai Wan Jian and also
there's-
Boy Wong in the modern racing team.
There's the oil on T7 and T8, and as you can see, it's right on the racing line as well. So they have this absorbent sand, as you can see, and that's, you know, the best thing that you could do, because obviously you can't put any liquid on oil or it's going to get even more slippery. So that stuff is just a stopgap. It's not, you know, it doesn't suddenly fix the oil, and it doesn't suddenly take away its kind of, you know, sticky, gloopy kind of effect to it. So they're going to have to avoid that, right? That racing line. But they know. I mean, they're well used to it. It's the only real factor is the fact there's so many cars. You know, that's one line.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cars going through there. So some of them are going to hit that dust, and they're just momentarily they're going to lose, well, I don't know, a good percentage of traction. So
I don't think the drivers will be too perturbed. Of course, they have to be cautious in turn 7 and turn 8. But I was speaking to a couple of drivers, and you know they really have so much of recognition and praise for the Hankook tire, which they say really can withstand almost any pressure, and it's really durable for not just a 50-minute race, but even in the context of a S1K, it can go the distance.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the very best tires have partnered up with the championship, and I agree. I said now that it's clearing now. Just before we get to racing day, of course, you know there's a lot of other initiatives that happen at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Car Open Track Day. You can get your car on this track, hugely famous track for like 20 odd years now. You can get your car on it and, you know, moderately drive and not, you know, recklessly drive in any way. The driving experience centers are also open for booking right now. DEC, that's something new actually. But if you want to get better at driving, then you can. For more info, log on to sepangcircuit.com. And of course, the big one. We say it every year because it really is worth saying. MotoGP Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2025, 24th to 26th of October this year. Lots of discounts and all sorts of you know, ways you can get your tickets. But go and find all the information right now on sepangcircuit.com. And with that, we've got green flag racing. It's one of my favorite situations. And it's going to happen on this wonderful track. As I said, look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. 2 fast straights in the middle, 927 meters each, 15 corners, radiates out like a kind of flower. So 1 and 2 is very slow. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are actually fast. 7 and 8 is where the oil is. 9 and 10 are slow, also going downhill, uphill. 11, 12, 13, 14 is lightning fast before you get onto the back straight, and then, of course, onto the main straight. So plenty of opportunities for all the drivers. This is turn 5. That's the weather report, 30-degree track temperature, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it go as high as 55. You know, and those tires you were talking about, that's what they take a hit. Let's look at a grid now. Hayden Heikel has made a huge return to the MTCC. Right up top, Lai Wei Singh is in second. Daimi Shamuddin, Brandon Hu, Chun, Lim Chok, and Hendra Adipatra and Abhirani Rashid that we just talked to sixth.
Jonathan Z, Mark Darwin, as you mentioned earlier, in the MT2G category. In the third place, we have Iwan Jian and Boy Wong. Sun Chipo, Liu Kawai in 9th place. Hakimi and Ayub in 10th. P. Fan Baron Lim in 11th. Au Yun Wei and Tang Tian in 12th.
Guessing this is going to go on for a while. Aman Nagdev, Ling Guanyu, 13th, 14th. Ng Chong Ching, Sakura Racing, second in the table right now. Ahead of Ronnie Risman in 16th, Ong Wai Kong in 17th, and Azulaha and Liu Zuan-Yan in 18th.
Still with the MT2G, we have Lam Zi Xiong in 19th, Yap Chun Wai in 20th, Li Jian He in 21st. That's in the MT2V. Li Chi Hua Genevieve Oi and Alistair Young. That's a unique combination there. Masakito Ida.
So that's
24.
basically the start of MT2V. So Chi Xiang, Mark Chu Shin, 25-26. Kwek Kian Wee and Trong Kiat Wine, 27-28. Mo Kwok Hung and the Thai pair in 30th.
In 31st, we have Najib Ismail, 32. We have Bradley Benedict, saw him earlier. Shafiq Shamsuddin, father and daughter combination in 33rd place. Yun Long in 34th, Danny Chen in 35th place, Tan Zi Yang in 36th.
Good to see Uncle Danny driving. And on we go. Stuart Hine in the other Axel sports car. Divyesh Parajan for DV Motorsports. Good to see him back in MTCC. Gilbert Ang, Lo Jia Jia and Kang Chi Kyung from AGI Racing. That's a new team in 41st. For just only 41 cars?
Yeah,
wow,
so.
I'm shocked. As I said, most racing championships around the world would kill to have more than 30 cars on the grid. And that's just now day in and day out with MTCC. Rolling start?
Yep.
So they're going to have to get themselves into a nice formation. Race control does have the ability and, of course, the power to order another formation lap if they're not quite right. I can see a little bit jaggedy, raggedy at the back. There you go there, now you're settling in.
Even the formation lap has a strategy to it. You know, certain drivers would try to warm up their cars in the turns, and some do it on the straights, as we can see.
Serpentine pattern, as you can see.
Just to get the...
It's fine, hey, that's fine. As long as you don't overstep your mark or do any kind of overtaking or break the speed limit, then you're all good. So, turn 15, when they get past this, the lights go green. And there's going to be a mad rush for turn 1, as there always is. So here we go, it's race 1, round 2 for the MT category in MTCC 2025, and they're off. And there you go, everyone's fighting for that inside line. A couple of people going wide, actually. Oh, that is, you know what? That's going to be very difficult. Leader. That's another one that's gone 3 cars in full for 4 now.
Absolute chaos before even turn 1
I would, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there was a restart. That is a lot of debris on the front straights.
And we have a red flag.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, how that actually happened, I didn't see. That car just started careening off in the middle. But when you've got this many cars on the track, that's what can happen. It was a domino effect.
This is very uncharacteristic, G. We've never seen such a chaotic start.
I mean, when there were 20 cars on the grid, I saw one, but only 2 cars get affected. But when you've got 41 cars on the grid,
astonishing start.
That is a domino effect. 5 cars are done, and looks like one of them is trying to walk off a bit of a knock to the knee. In fact, can't even walk it off. Who is that? 121, that is Alistair Young. Either that, I mean, it looks like Alistair Young, doesn't look like Genevieve at all. So that's one of the Axel sports cars. And that is Alex Young's boy. I do hope he's okay. At least he's standing up, I guess, but he's going to have to get medics to have a look at that. So now let's have a look back. Where was the actual car that lost it?
Started off with Hendra
Adiputra. There you go.
Hendra Adiputra, our MT2G, a leader.
Who we just spoke to, the 24
yes,
car.
and that created a ripple effect.
That's a domino effect.
As you can see, Jeep, barely the field has ever taken the first turn yet. And
yeah, half the grid was just was cut. The grid was cut in half, essentially. So we're going to have to wait and find out now exactly what the protocol is. But they're going to have to get rid of, well, they're going to have to move those cars off the front grid, and then they're going to have to really check the front straight, because that is one of the fastest spots on the course.
So a confirmation of the cars that have been taken out of contention. We have the Axel Sport, Genevieve Hui, Alistair Young, our MT2G leader, Hendra Adiputra, Adi Rahimi, and we also have car 611. That's Azrila Ha and Lee Zuan Yan from Bay Racing.
Well.
3 cars that have felt the full brunt of it.
And maybe from the back we can actually see what happened to that original 24 car. It just started steering off to the left.
Yeah, exactly. Steering off to the left and just
steering
not
off to
on
the
track.
right, sorry.
Yeah.
And then there, right there, and then it just careened off. So I don't know if that was a steering lock problem. I don't know if, I mean,
Just
it's
over
highly
eagerness
unlikely
to
that
hug the inside line in anticipation for turn 1.
that wasn't hugging the inside line. I mean, that was making a beeline for the wall. I'm not being funny. You know, the car was facing towards the wall.
Yeah, it
it was
could have
not
been a
facing
steering,
towards the corner. So
steering issue.
I have a funny feeling it was a steering problem. And that's a dangerous place to have a steering problem. But then, of course, you can't tell when you're going to have a steering problem. It's not something you predict.
And we hope that Alistair Young or Genevieve
That's the most important thing. For me, the most important thing that Alistair
okay.
Young is okay. He looks like, from all the drivers that were involved, he was the one that was limping and struggling to limp as well. So I just hope that he gets that checked out as soon as possible. And, you know, in these kind of situations, you got to look at any positive angle. He was standing up.
Yeah, he was standing up. He got out of the car, and great to see the medics.
But you're right,
medical
to
team
see an
rushed
injury
over
in you know, MTCC. This is my first MTCC race, so I'm of course making, you know, comparisons back to MCS. But you see shunts, but there's 41 cars on the grid, so absolutely anything can happen. As you saw there, 1 car went wrong, 5 cars get affected. So there is a knock-on effect, and we should just be thankful it wasn't 10 cars that were affected, it wasn't 12 cars.
Yeah,
that were affected.
precisely. And it also goes to show that no matter how much of preparations you put into getting the car ready, you know, things like this are just unforeseen, and sometimes you can't help it.
If it was a steering problem, if the steering column went for any reason, there's absolutely no computer in the world that is going to tell you that's going to happen. That's just going to snap.
Because they had barely even started. I presume that they were only in second or third gear, you know, just getting ready in anticipation.
I'm sure that he probably turned the steering wheel to try and get nearer to the inside line.
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't oversteer like that.
We'll have a look at it again.
I said, you look at where his bonnet is pointing at the end, and it's towards the wall. That is not looking for the line. That was a direct beeline for the wall. And then, of course, bounces back. That's what caused the big problem.
Yeah, I think he was just
so
shocked
I'm
at
go
how
with
the car
lock.
reacted.
But as I said, you can have computers that can judge whether your engine is over revving or whether it's too hot or whether it's too cold. You can, you know, have visual indicators as to tires, whether they're too bald or too, but you're never going to know when a steering column is going to break. And if that's what happened.
Spillover effect of hitting the wall, the car just spun back right into the middle of the grid, and that is what has caused
these
the entire build-up.
They are road cars. I noticed when I was watching the replays, the highlights and stuff as well, there's a Mercedes A45 on...
Yeah, that was Fazil Alang.
Yeah, and I said that's a beautiful all-round car. A little bit on the top end of the touring car class, but all of these other cars are road cars, but they have been tweaked for racing situations. So there's a lot more torque, there's a lot more kind of pull and push in terms of physical forces. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was an acceleration plus, you know, a little bit of yank of the steering wheel, and it was a break of the steering wheel. But we are making assumptions here.
Yeah, we're just basing it on what we see.
Based on what we see.
If we do get confirmation,
if we get a report from Axel Sports, of course, if Race Control gets a report from Axel Sports, then we'll let you know, or any of the cars involved. But right now, I think we're going for a quick start from the pit lane. That's what it looks like. Yellow flags are still out, even before a single lap has been completed.
Yep, all cars back in Parc Fermé in a single file.
Well, we didn't see anything come up there. The pit window's 11:39, 11:54. So yes, I think they cleared the
We
debris.
have confirmation. Race will be resumed under safety car.
Okay, yeah. So it's FCY conditions.
And of course, this is to ensure that there is no debris left on track.
And that means, of course, 80 kilometers an hour, no overtaking, and basically being on your best behavior. It's as simple as that. The clock, as you can see from the top of your screen, is still running. So
It's a massive
it's
blow.
not. Yeah, it's not like a rain delay. It's not like the rain has stopped the race in any way. They've deemed it controllable enough that they can proceed.
Yeah.
Which is good. So, you know, it's good for the people that are watching to use my famous line wherever you are around the world.
But it is a blow for Henry Adiputra and Adi Rahimi. We can see a question mark on the monitor.
I don't think they're going to
status.
be. I don't think they're going to be starting.
Looks like they are out for today.
Yes, exactly. And if they're out for today, that means they might not. Well, they were 14 points ahead.
They were 14 points ahead
in the standings. So
they were, of course, the dominant victors of round one in both the races, comprehensively winning both those races.
So that should at least give them a bit of a buffer. Well, one of the cars, 22 cars, just seemed to jump to the front of the... Can you see that on the monitor? No. You saw the big line of cars in the pit lane. We're right in front of them. In fact, right in front of 99 car.
See the
Danny Chin, that's Danny Chin right in front of us.
race marshals busy at work just to clear any sort of
I'm happy to
debris
see them.
and
Very glad to see them doing sterling work as always.
just to clean up that asphalt.
Hopefully, there they are. Good, yeah, this is what I wanted to see. So a little bit more oil on the track now, just before turn 1. That's turn 1, turn 7, turn 8. You noticing this down, Nick? Because basically that's a lot of oil already, and none of the cars have completed a lap.
Yeah, it's been the race marshals who have been busy at work of the entire cast of this weekend's race.
So a slightly reduced race is what we're going to get. How many laps did they? I'm guessing if it's 50 minutes plus leader, then probably got 21 laps last time
Yeah,
out.
last time I was about 21 laps, so
Probably about 17 or 18, maybe 16 laps left in this race, barring, of course, any other stops that might happen. Remember, there are 3 spots on the course that have a lot of oil. You just see off the right of your screen the kind of debris that they're pushing off the main line. As I said, that's one of the fastest places on the track. That's about 3/4 down on the home straight. So you are belting it from turn 15.
yeah.
And that's your peak, so they have to make sure.
And this is a reset that, of course, none of the drivers want, but things like this are really unforeseen and can't be taken into account for.
I thought for a second they were smiling at the replay, but they're actually smiling at themselves on TV. Yes, great to see smiles, to be honest, after a situation like that. And as you said, it's also great to have the marshals in full swing. You know, the response time of these guys is one of the things that world-class circuits are actually gauged on. Walkie-talkies are out, clipboards are out. And they're taking a visual log of the cars, that's also good. So there is a safety car, which is in itself an A45, isn't it? Looks like. But that A45, which I saw on the round 1 racing, that's not the first time that we've seen it in Sepang.
Yes, I
SD
believe so.
Wangan, there was a Singaporean
Correct.
team, SD Wangan, that had an A45. I think it was 5 years ago, and it absolutely ripped up the circuit. It's fantastic. It's such a great all-round car. It's, you know, great in corners. It's got great straight line speed. It's got the reliability of the Mercedes engine as well.
It's a contrasting performance from that A45. Could not finish the first race because of tire issues.
Really?
But came back and blitzed.
Tire issues. I knew it wouldn't be any
Blitzed
issue.
through the second race and won it by some distance, Fadzil Alang.
Yeah, if you get that car going right, if you set it up just right, then in my view, it's going to be very difficult to beat because it's just such a great all-round car. You know, some of the other cars, the Civics and the Swifts and stuff, they have different... Oh, we're off the break now.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hungkop Tire.
Welcome back to the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia. You joined us at the Sepang International Circuit for our 19th round of the MotoGP World Championship. It does not get any more tense than this. Potentially any more dramatic than this. The stakes could not be higher. The biggest race of the season is going. It's lights out, we're racing here. In Sepang MotoGP, Martin runs wide. Bagnaia seizes the inside line. Oh no, it's damage by the back. Big crash by the back. The biggest prize on two wheels is on the line next live. It's time to race in MotoGP.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hungkop Tire.
Welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the MTCC Championship 2025. Round 2, race 1, and as you can see, there's not much racing going on, simply because there was some quite incident of the original start.
Yep, and as a result, we have 4 cars currently out of contention. Our MT2G leader, Hendra Adiputra, Adi Rahimi, P. Saufan, Baron Sims also out. By the looks of it, Azrael Aha, Liu Xuan Yan from Bay Racing, and Genevieve Uy and Alistair Young.
There's Alex Young, obviously very concerned. Well, 1 minute, and there's the safety car. So, the race will be received now.
We can see the skid marks still very much visible.
Yeah. Well, we should at least be happy that the sun's out. Because there was some bad weather around 1. Clock's still ticking, so 34 minutes left in this race.
So do you think the race has that crashes early on has affected the momentum of this race? And
oh, of course it will. Absolutely.
Do you think we'll see a different dynamics to the remaining 34
ultimately,
minutes?
No. I think ultimately over the 34 minutes they will settle into a rhythm, because that's what the safety car is there to do. The safety car will parade them around maybe 1-2 laps. As soon as that comes in, then they'll have that visual assurance that things are safe enough for them to start putting the pedal to the metal. But right now, they're thinking, where's the oil on the track? Where's, you know, where's the debris?
Yeah,
how fast can I go on the home straight, which is where I was expecting to do most of my overtaking anyway. So, you know, the safety, that's how these races are set up. So the safety car will, in the end, kind of give them that visual confirmation that they'll be okay, but I don't know if they're going to go full up. Would you?
Under this circumstance,
No,
probably not.
Absolutely not.
Coupled with the oil that was on turn 7, turn 8.
Yeah, I'd try and keep position. I'd try and defend as well as I attack on the racing line. I wouldn't try anything too crazy on the outer sides of the track, because, you know, the marshals are going to be looking to clear the racing line first, and then that doesn't mean they're going to leave stuff on track.
Yeah.
But that's, as you see with the dust, that's the most important bit, because that's the place where most cars are going to be on. But don't try anything too crazy up here. You know, you can already see the skid marks coming up to turn 9 and 10. Those have been set up for years now. But try and keep position, you know. Conversely, that means that if everyone did that, then there's obviously a chance for somebody to go
and also the drivers who are currently in their cars now will have limited time because pit window will also be opening, and that would mean handing the car to the driver, and that also brings about a different change in strategy because these guys have not gotten warmed up and they will barely have time to do so before handing the cars over.
Well, this is effectively their first lap.
Yeah.
They haven't got to this part of the course yet. And even then, it's behind a safety car, so you can forget overtaking. Unless you want a lifetime ban. But, not a lifetime. It could be a lifetime, it depends on how you overtake, I guess. But it's just generally don't do it. So it's not really racing, it's more testing out the track for everyone. Seeing if these cars, so if 6 are down, then I'm guessing that we have 4:35 on track.
Yes, right.
And all 6 are confirmed not coming back.
Well, we saw 4 taken out earlier. I'm not sure if there's additional. So by the looks of it, we have about 36 or 35 rather. From our monitors, there's 35 cars on their out lap.
We didn't know if all 6 are completely out. Based on the carnage that we saw, based on the actual damage to the car, I think a couple of them definitely are out.
Definitely out, yeah.
But we'll have to get confirmation of that a little bit later on. So now, they're still, I can still see at the front, they're just weaving in a serpentine pattern. So it's another safety car lap.
But all these have also probably been already taken into consideration that, they might have to race under safety car regulations. And
I don't think they would have thought off the start.
Off the start, of course not, but perhaps at some point.
You can have a backup strategy, a kind of contingency plan for a full course yellow for, say, 4 or 5 laps, if it's a 21-lap race, maybe even up to 7 laps. But off the start, where if you think about a race, where are the best times you can overtake? Off the start is one of them. You can hijack 4 or 5 cars if you want to do, suddenly find yourself up in second. So if that was your strategy, if you were looking to really make a fast start, that's now been taken out. So you're going to have to play the long game. You're going to have to take it, through the racing line. You're going to have to go past, I like to say Putra Adam runs, where you start in 16th and you end up in 2nd or 3rd. But that's now what everyone has to do, because the start has been taken away from them. If your strategy was closing well, look at the clock, because now we're in the second half of the race already and there's been no racing. So the second half of the race has now become your start.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
That's essentially...
So you're creating strategies on the fly. Your cars have been running in neutral and kind of like, you're not supposed to drive fast cars slow. So who knows what extra. Look at the damage there just to the front of some of these cars as well, who took minor damage from that incident. So there were 6 cars that were principally damaged, but there may have been a couple of others that took a few knocks.
And there's also the dynamics of, the combination of a pro and an amateur in the car, and, handing the car over during pit. So if, let's say, you are a pro and you are forced to race under safety car regulations, meaning going in reduced speed, then when you hand the car over to your junior teammate, then that expectation is slightly more on that driver to sort of really take it home and finish in the best position possible.
I think it's better if we name a pair, Hayden Heikel and Rahul Rajmaya. Hayden Heikel was in the car. We saw him, we talked to him on the grid. He's had to do no racing.
Yeah.
So now, in 11:39, this is 4 minutes when the pit window opens, he's going to be handing it over to Rahul Rajmaya. This is essentially his race now. And Hayden's influence, unless they've changed their strategy, they're going to keep Hayden in for the next 28 minutes.
Which could be it as well.
Every driver has up to 50 minutes an hour they can be in a car, the last I checked. So I'm assuming that still maintains. But it's green light racing now. The safety car has gone back in. We knew that was going to happen, as there was an announcement from race control saying all car catch up the formation. So now we are back to proper racing. 27 minutes left on the track. These cars generally lap at around 2:35, 2:45. They've been doing 3:10s. So that would mean about 9 laps as I see it, to determine which of these guys is going to sit pretty on top.
9 laps of actual competitive racing.
That's if they're lapping at 240. They've been lapping at 311. If it's 311, it'll be 8 laps. So after this lap, I can tell you now that Brandon Ho, Superpower, Lullaby team. Yeah, well, they are currently in 4th, and they've just put in the fastest sector 1. So somebody has come off that full course yellow well. Sochi Xiang, also in 20th overall, has put in the fastest of the FCY laps. That was a 3:10.006. But that leaves a lot of variance, because as I said, I've seen Mark Darwin go around here in 2:26. Once that was a long, long time ago. In a different car, true. But I'm expecting now sunny conditions, generally clear track. I'd say 2:35, 2:38 maybe.
We should be witnessing some optimal racing in the next lap or so, where the drivers really get up to speed with track conditions. They fully warmed up, of course.
Well, what's interesting there is that Jonathan Z, and he's in the car now. Johnny Z started.
Yeah, he started.
Well, he was up front, and now Hayden Heichel has retaken the lead. Hayden beginning to race at, half an hour gone. And as I said, to answer your earlier question, nobody planned that. So how he responds, he's a great driver, so he'll probably respond really well. But how some of the other drivers, some of the new drivers, especially to MTCC, respond with having essentially half their race taken away.
One great example of that is ES Lim of Sokudo Racing, who's one of the 5 cars in the MTC category, and the only car currently on the out lap, the bottom of the pile.
One of the cars that got hit then,
yeah.
I'm guessing. Because they all started from the pit lane, so... Well, this is interesting. This is for the lead, if I'm right. Yes, it is. That is Brandon Ho. That is on the inside of the High-Ref Dream Chaser 100 car, who then cuts back on turn 2 and maintains the lead. Well done from Daim Hishamuddin.
Daim Hishamuddin, yeah.
So, well done to Daim. Brandon Ho trying. Hayden Heichel apparently is still in the lead, or he was at the start of the lap. So he's put in a 2:33.171, so I was way off. In fact, actually, everybody else is doing a 2:36 or 2:41, so I was pretty close there. But Hayden Heichel is just a little bit different, I guess. 2:33, he's a full 4 seconds.
That's the reason why we are not seeing him on screen currently.
He's a full 4 seconds ahead of everyone else. So
he's just quite a distance away already.
If it could literally be 9 laps of him adding 4 seconds per lap at this rate. But how has he managed to do that on a track with 3 corners essentially covered in oil? He's managed to put in a 2:33 already. That doesn't look that far on your screen, does it?
Yeah, this is second to fourth.
That's what they were lapping, a 2:33 and a 2:36. I mean, whatever they look like on screen, numbers and statistics never lie. Funny enough, I just said that in badminton yesterday as well. Numbers and statistics never lie. 2:33, 2:66, and now 2:41. Oh, in fact, that was Jonathan Z, sorry. So Hayden Heichel still with the fastest lap and the fastest sector 1, which means he is going to be at the front. And yeah, that's more like it. Now he's beginning to show that he's pulling away as well. So.
Yeah, we spoke about Jonathan Z earlier. He's currently topping the MT2 G category.
Johnny Z topping something is not.
All right, guys, I'm now together in the pits with driver car number 24, Hendra, who was involved in that massive, I wouldn't say pile-up, but something actually happened awal-awal tadi waktu kita nak racing tadi. Hendra, first of all, you okay ke sekarang? Everything is fine?
Everything fine, we santai right now, everything okay, except for the car.
Except for the car, fortunately. So, share with us what actually happened down there, because at first, itu baru pelepasan, there was a bit of a cars, gunning to their own places and whatnot. From your own point of view, what actually happened out there?
Starting again was okay. It was terrible, but I've tried to go inside, but since it was a blind spot, I couldn't see anything. Just went left, he moved. So, and then I got dragged, boom, then.
So basically waktu you bawa tu, you ada rasa you kena bump dari belakang ke, ataupun it's just purely lost control je daripada you?
I feel like purely lost control because I feel like I can't do anything from there.
Okay. And unfortunately, you're out of this particular race for round 2, race 1. Tapi you rasa sempat lagi tak untuk make an appearance for round 2, race 2 untuk esok? Sempat tak nak siapkan kereta tu esok?
InsyaAllah boleh. Hopefully all the crew can make it. We can make it. It's winnable. It's winnable.
Alright, cool. What's important is that you're okay, you're fine, and try to get yourself psyched up and ready for tomorrow, inshallah. Okay? Alright, you okay?
Okay.
Okay. Disappointed, of course. He's very disappointed. Let's just leave him at that. Jens, back to you.
Thanks, Mio. And well, there you go. That's the answer to it. It wasn't a steering lock at all. It was a complete loss of control. So he did indeed turn the steering wheel. And as you can see, he's very upset, disappointed the fact that he was behind that, well, I mean, 6-car crash, we're going to have to call it.
Well, if we try and put ourselves in his shoes, just, it happened in a split second. You smashed into the barrier, and the next thing you're being dragged out in the middle, and so he's disappointed.
He only had control at the beginning.
Yeah, not only because of his non-participation, but because of what had happened after that. 5 other cars taken out.
Now, this is a classic situation that you hear, or that you saw in MCS. The second and third cars are so busy fighting each other, looking in each other's back windows and rear view mirrors, and trying not to give up track position, that Hayden Heikel is just pulling away.
6 seconds now.
Yeah, there's nothing Brandon O can do about it, because he's literally looking in his rearview mirrors. He cannot focus on Hayden Heikel at the moment, because he might just be outdone by Lowry Singh in the orange R Engineering. And I haven't seen an R Engineering car in orange for a good couple of years now. But as you can see, just lurking.
Even Daim is looking to pull away and has developed quite a bit of distance.
Well, he's just hanging around in the slipstream of that number 3 car. Now he pulls out, has a look on the outside. But yes, this is golden opportunity for Hayden Heikel to do what he does best, which is create a lead for his partner. As we suspected, even though the pit window is now moved to 11:49. Oh, by the way, the starting procedure is also under investigation. 11:49 means that, that is now 5 minutes away, 25 minutes. Maybe he'll come in and give Rahul Rajmaya a run out for the last 20-odd minutes of this race.
Another impressive performer is car number 333 in the MT2V Jeep. That's Jasmine Tan, who won both races in round 1 and is currently topping the MT2V.
Oh, right. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's Jonathan Z. OPM Light Racing, so I'm guessing that Mark Darwin's had a hand in setting that up. Because Mark Darwin is actually not just the driver, but he also owns and works and operates and, tones up his car in his own workshop. I wouldn't be surprised if OPM, that's a car that is not moving. That's Divyesh Parajan, isn't it?
It's kind
that
of
looks like DV Motorsports 19.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. And he's completely stalled, so yep, that is DV Motorsport. I can just see on the side of the car. And there you go.
Another full course yellow.
That's on lap 5. So we had about 3 laps off a restart. It was a restart and then...
And a confirmation, Jeff, is indeed Divyesh Parajan, DV Motorsport.
I thought it was. 3 laps on the safety car, then 5 laps before an FCY. for DV19. And I think that was stopped at turn 7 or turn 8. Just before, may have even been turn 6. Well, that was a very, very short FCY because everything looks green now.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like,
well, it's just the car stopped. I said he hasn't left any oil, debris, engine's not blown, there's no smoke going across the
got the car off track and they can resume.
Probably just cleared the line so that they can get it off track, but it would be a quick thing because that car's not actually physically going to be dragged off track. It's going to still have wheels. That's 919. Chongqing.
Let's battle for a third in the MT2G.
Yeah, that's right. And it's close as well.
Yeah, MT2G is pretty close. Jonathan Z, who's leading, only has a 2-second lead over Sun Chi Po.
Yeah, and I think that's the gap is 38 off the leader, and then there's about 7 seconds between the top 6 in MT2G. Now that's them, I'm guessing. Yes, it is. There's in Chongqing. So Mohammed Hakimi, Haiwan Jian, Jonathan Z, Sun Chi Po, all of them together, 7 seconds.
And just confirmation of the pit window that's about to be opened shortly.
This is going to be interesting to see which of these cars comes in for a driver change, because to be honest with you, there is actually an option of just leaving the driver in there. He'll only do 10 laps.
Yeah.
So it's well within driver timings. It's not a threat to him or the car or the rest of the field. There's more than enough fuel to do it. So I wonder.
Well, Hayden looks extremely comfortable. He's now almost 8 seconds
It's
in
a
front.
really unique situation. I said, I don't know, I can't recall, even after 9 years, if there's a specific regulation that says you have to, if you're on a 2-driver team, hand over to your other teammate. You know, check flag will be at 12:14. Yeah, that's right. So lap 7 now. Oh, so we'll probably get a bit more, probably about 11 laps, I would have thought.
Yeah. Going back to your point, Jiv, yeah, because we've never been in a unique situation like this.
You've never been in a situation. Usually,
so many crashes had happened.
Usually in S1K and some of the longer races, it's 50 minutes per hour that one driver can race. And that is a regulation. I know that for a fact.
They
so
have no choice
therefore,
but to hand over the...
you have to hand over the car, take a break, and then come back in. But when you've got a race that's 24 minutes...
It's an unscheduled pit.
Well, the window's open. You can come in and have your pit stop. If there's something wrong with your car, of course
now
you
it's
can have
open,
your pit
yes.
stop. And so that's what I mean. Some cars, that was our engineering.
That's Leon Koo.
Yeah,
first
so
car in.
Leon Koo will come in and Lai Wei Sing will get into that car. Loads of other cars are using the pit window. But would someone like Hayden Heichel have to use the pit window? It is a compulsory stop, so I guess he has to come in.
He has to come in. And it's also interesting to see what Daim and also Brandon would do. The high rev grip chase and superpower lap. If they would also follow him and perhaps stick.
Yeah, I'm not contesting him coming in. I think he has to come in and bring the car in.
That's a 90-second compulsory pit.
But whether a driver changes with him is kind of an open question, because Hayden Heichel could stay in the car for 1.5 minutes and then leave and still be a 25-minute driver and not a 50-minute driver. That's what I was saying.
You could also be interesting to see if the other two drivers emulate the same thing. If, let's say, Hayden decides to stick in the car, would the other two then also choose to remain?
Exactly.
Or would they choose to,
That's it.
give it to
well,
their
our
partner?
engineering were in first and they are out first. So that would be Lai Wei Sing, the team principal, and behind that car now. That is Hayden Heichel. As far as we know, he hasn't come in yet.
He's generally known not to come
Yeah, he
in
doesn't
so
come in
early.
early.
He usually leaves it
He
late.
never comes in. I bet you even if you tell him to come in late, he'll still come in late. But, as I said, it's an open book as to what the actual regulation is. Because you could, for example, bring the car in that fulfills that obligation, and then Rahul could get in the car and get out. So you have technically changed drivers.
Yeah.
And then Hayden gets back in again and then carries on, and he's still going to be well within driver stipulation. But I said, if Rahul Raj, I've never seen that ever happen. And I think Rahul Raj, if he does come in, would come in and with the stop as well.
Well, even if Rahul gets in the car, which we think could
Should happen. Should happen.
Through the form, he will have a 10-second lead, and that's probably good enough for him, barring any consequence, to take home the win. And we can even start speculating about who's going to take this, because we're already more than halfway through.
Yeah, absolutely. So car number 8 has been in the headlines a bit, and we're going to go down to the pits now. That's Jonathan Z, and talk with Mio or Arena.
Of course, for the MT2G carry, he just came in, his partner went out. Jonathan, how are you feeling so far?
Still feeling very tense. I really enjoyed the race. It's so crowded, it's so fun. I just can't get this feeling anywhere.
Okay, are you aware that there was a bit of an incident on the track? I'm sure you do. How did that make you feel? Do you think it interrupted with your concentration of the race so far?
So, just before the accident, when I saw on my rearview mirror, I was a little bit touched from the rear. And the people from the back is coming up so fast, I don't know why. And the next thing I saw was the car 24 went into the wall. And I felt so lucky that I really escaped from this trouble and managed to come back for the driver change.
Yeah, we definitely see how you were so focused on the track. It really got you in leading for the MT2G category. Now, how confident are you in your partner? He has to keep up the momentum. You really shooted it out there. So how confident are you with your partner?
I'm 300% confident with my partner because he's my very good friend, and I have no worries about him driving it. So we are good.
All right, thank you so much, Jonathan. All right, back to you guys in the stage.
Thanks a lot, Arena. Well, there you go. That's another view into that opening incident. Johnny Z's also had, you said he was topping MT2V?
MT2G.
MT2G,
but now he's on his out lap. But yeah, I think great gratitude more than anything else to have come away from that unscathed. And now car's in the good hands of his experienced partner, Mark Darwin. Oh, interestingly enough, Ajeev, Daim has now pitted, so Hayden's still out there. And he's commanded a 16-second lead. The confirmation of Daim in pit. And I think that would be Aaron Hakim, who's now assumed the position behind the wheel. So Hayden Haikal still out there doing the business with a 16-second advantage.
16 seconds now?
16 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's going to be in the bag. Barring something, well, the car's in, as I said, and that means, did you see Rahul Rajmai get in?
No, this is Hayden's car. That was.
Oh, that was the 100 car.
That was the 100.
Okay, that was the
But I didn't see Aaron going. I presume he would have gone in.
We would have seen him if he'd come in. I think he's still out there. Just look at the side. No, he hasn't come in yet. That's the pit line we have on the computer at the left side that shows us who's come in and who hasn't. And the top 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, that's all the way up to the Predator Piston project, the Thai team. They have not come in yet.
Yeah, The other car who was in third earlier, Brandon Ho and Nikhil Bora.
He said he was fighting for first, remember,
Yep.
at turn 1.
They're currently off the pace simply because they've also came in earlier.
Unsporting flag for car number 9. That's Ong Wai Kwong, Darren Ong, and Taekan Boon. That's ST, that used to be the ST Wangan team, now it's the ST powered PT team, so that's one of the Singaporean teams. Just, it's come in, the car, number 1 car's in, there it is, and he's getting out, so there's confirmation that Rahul Rajmaya will in fact get a 17-minute driving stint right now. That's the car everyone's been waiting for.
A tyre change as well.
Well, as I understand it, it should be a compulsory stop anyway, so they can get on with whatever they need to get on with, and that's going to be the key aspect. Get a lot of tyre wear. So, with our leader in the pits completing 10 laps, Bay Racing in second completing 9 laps, that's actually a good time to come in.
I think there was always a strategy to try and develop as big as an advantage as possible and then come in. That's what Hayden usually does.
So he lived up to his usual billing, coming in late. And now he's just going to be waiting out that time. I can tell you he's at 1:20 at the moment. Now, based on everybody else, I'm guessing, because they've been in for 2 minutes. 2:05, 2:02. So I don't think it's a 3-minute stop, that's for sure. I think it's a minimum 1.5.
Yeah, it's a 90-second compulsory pit.
So the fastest we've seen is 2:00. And that is Sun Chi Po from Bay Racing, who was, of course, running pretty close to second. Bay Racing have a car in second, and they have a car in 10th. And one is, oh, they're both MT2Gs, actually. And they're both, well, no, one of them's in there right now. So Ling Guan Yu, the number 52 car, is in the pits right now, and number 9 car is out on track.
Some change in the MT2V category as well. We see Lee Chi-Hwa and Lester Lian currently in a top spot, and Jasmine Tan, who was leading in that category, has dropped to 5th. I think it's due to the pit window being open. He probably came in early.
Yeah. Usually, as I said, around this time, the computer goes a little bit haywire because so many of these transponders keep coming in. And the overall classification can change. That's the OPM Light racing team, so that would be Mark Darwin, who's now in the car, as we saw Jonathan Z in the pits. Mark Darwin is a very fast driver. Let's see what he can do.
Just happy to see that there's not been any other incidents since the start of the race. Every driver's been able to go out there and really try and put out the best performance for the remaining of the race.
Mark Darwin trying on the outside of turn 1. He's not going to have enough luck there. And that is, well, it should be Wong Yu Chung. There is, oh, well, we're just taking a break now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hankook Tire.
Welcome back to the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia. You joined us at the Sepang International Circuit for our 19th round of the MotoGP World Championship. does not get any more tense than this. Potentially any more dramatic than this. The stakes could not be higher. The biggest race of the season is going. It's lights out, we're racing here. Enter Podium GP. Martin runs wide. Bagnaia seizes the inside line. Oh no, there's damage by the back. Big crash by the back. The biggest prize on two wheels is on the line next live. It's time to race in MotoGP.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hungop Tire.
Welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the Malaysia Touring Car Championship 2025, round 2, the MT2 G and V category, race 1. Sunny days, but I wish we could say the same for the situations that have been developing on track. Another darker situation right at the start. Oh, it looks like Mark Darwin's found a way through. by pushing the other car off the track, essentially. Oh, I don't know about that. That's recreating the racing line, really. Wow. Look, he hasn't quite done it either. So there's nothing between these two cars. That is Mark Darwin and, well, it should be Adam Mikhail. I think. No, it's Wong Yu Chung.
Wei Wong, yep.
And there is 0.3 of a second between them, which means these two chassis. Oh, it's another big shot, this time at turn 15. Axel Sports involved again. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars involved. 2 get away by the skin of their teeth. The other 2, well, Axel Sports still marooned. Turn 15 is also a very, well, I mean, you've got to be careful on turn 15 because you're throwing a lot of speed in from down the back straight, then you brake really hard, you come round, you pick one line, which looks where that car is.
This is where braking could go wrong.
Well, let's put it this way, when it's raining, this is the spot that everyone flies off the track. Now, that wasn't actually Axel Sports' fault.
Yeah, he was just
It was clipped by Team Chun's Motorsport. That was Stephen Lai Wing.
And we can presume that Charlie Hine is behind that wheel, having taken over from Stuart Hine.
Now, this is Rahul Ajmaya, who is maintaining. He's lapping at 2:38 right now, which is actually slower.
Yes, he is. Because that lead was earlier at 16 seconds. It's now been slashed to 12.
Well, he's only got 9 minutes left. He can actually keep cutting down by 3 seconds a lap. And, or roughly about 2 seconds a lap. And he'll still be ahead for most of it. So I reckon he's probably going to just keep bide his time and then try and go for a one big fast lap maybe after that. He's just put in a 2:37 actually. Oh no, that's not him, that's Daimai Schroeder who we're watching on screen. 100 high roof.
Yeah, Raul still 2:38 from his previous lap. Leon Koo has been the fastest. The last lap it was 2:34.
That is fast. I was going to see him. So, well, he's about 4 seconds back from. Is that Daimai Schroeder? I think that's Aaron Hakim that's now in that car, yeah?
Should be Aaron Hakim. But speaking of lap times, the man to beat is still Hayden Haikal, set at 2:33 early on.
That is lightning fast. Well, 3 cars under investigation, and another car goes walkabout. That's on turn 14.
The worst to come off of those 3 was car number 1, 2, 3.
Well, I said at the beginning of the race, 11, 12, 13, 14, you pick up a lot of speed. Then you have to kill it all before you get onto the back straight. So that last corner is kind of like a bottleneck. Battle for second in MTC. Brandon Ho. Oh, well, now Nikhil Bora is Aaron Hakim.
And car number 19 that stalled early on, Divesh and Harkesh Jiva has not been able to get out on track.
There was a questionable puff of smoke that came out the back of that number 3 car. It came out at the right time to be exhaust. It's the color of it. Very dark gray that made me wonder if all is well inside that engine. You might see it again here at turn 5. Just keep an eye on the back of that car. And looking at his times, Nikhil Bora is 2:35. That's actually the fastest of the top 3.
Yeah, Nikhil Bora has really done well since taking over from Brandon Ho.
Diamond Jordan is 2:36, so he's may look close, but he's going to be hard pushed to push through here. That is, well, that's Mark Darwin at the front. So Wong Yu Chung is at the back, and that is the number 92 or 62. Oh, I think it's a lap. They're lapping. That car's way down the order. So Wong Yu Chung and Mark Darwin still with just 0.3 between them. And this is the battle for third place, currently occupied by OPM Light.
It's been an interesting development in the MTC. That 5th car that was out of contention for so long, car number 878 ES Lim, is now back racing.
But 2 laps back, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is a lifetime at 5 minutes to go. Not just improbable, that's impossible.
But I guess it'll just be about trying to complete the race and
well, yeah, you
fine-tuning the car for tomorrow.
You're not considered finished unless you, I think it's 60% or 70% race is done. It's a DNF. So, yeah, if you have had troubles early on, try and get those laps back, try and make a finish at least. And, well, you're going to have to set your eyes, obviously, for tomorrow's race. But good, bright, sunny conditions.
Rahul Raj has actually gotten faster in the last lap, and as a result, that lead has not been slashed even further. So, you're right, JP is just going to coast.
Yeah.
Pretty much doesn't need to push.
Doesn't need to push. Why put extra stress on the engine or your tires if you've already won this race? And that's what I mean about having a half-hour race. He would not have been able to do that with a 16-second lead if the rest of the field had full 21 laps to race against him. But they didn't. You know, in the end, they actually got a fair few laps out of it, 14. And it's going to be 15 at the end of this. So almost perfect. And there is a couple of penalties coming out from race control.
Yeah, there was car number 80, I think, who was the one that was guilty of bumping.
Stephen Lai Wing.
Yes.
Yeah, Team Shrewsbury Sport. So, got a wrap on the wrist. Checker flag at 12:14. That's 4 minutes from now. Yep, that lines up with the clock. Very sunny at turn 9 and 10. Entirely different corner when it's dry. When it's wet, we've seen it. There's a river that actually goes through that. Racing line clear. I'm going to try Chalanchicha and Namkanech. That's it. Chalanchicha and Namkanech. As you can imagine, another international pair that's come in. Lots of international teams have joined MTCC from Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia. now there's now a new sign that actually lets you know if you're doing a drive-through penalty, and your number comes up on it and everything. If you said drive-through 80.
That's the last thing on this driver's intentions to cause any harm, to basically hit anyone. You know, they just focused on their task
I know they're
ahead.
not intentionally trying to do it, but he does have to serve out the drive-through penalty in race time. You can't finish the race and then serve out the penalty. So within the next 2 minutes, Stephen Lywing is going to have to get himself into the pits and drive at 60 or 80 kilometers an hour. And while he does that, I think a checkered flag is going to be given. So it's 50 minutes plus leader, but of course that got cut down to 25 minutes plus leader. Now, Nick, this is the question I'm going to put to you with 1 minute and 22 seconds left. How is this going to affect the standings? And is it, in fact, going to affect the standings?
Well, for the MTC, this is where the standings will actually take place, because it's being contested for the first time. In the MT2G, definitely it's opened up because our dominant leader had crashed out early on. And in the MT2V, it looks like Jasmine Tan will consolidate top spot because he was, of course, another dominant leader with 35 points and looks to be leading. I think there was some issue with our monitor earlier because it showed he was in 5th place, but...
Yeah, so here is our leader on his last lap, Rahul Rajmaya, who has built well on Hayden Heichel's great start, if you could call it a start, because he really started at 25 minutes. But considering that, he actually did really well. 16-second lead with a lot less laps. That's what you get when you have a nice, versatile driver. He's not going to get upset by a couple of, as they say, wrinkles in the quilt.
Well, he was one of the few to have just escaped that chaos due to the fact he started
very
pole.
lucky. Yeah, there were a lot of cars actually. I said that incident off the start pretty much halved the grid. So the first half got away very well, and they went on to have a very happy race. The packet back behind the 6, they of course had to avoid everything. And so we're right in front of that checkered flag. And as you can see, people are beginning to start coming through. Hayden Heichel, Rahul Rajmaya and High Rev Dream Chaser continue in MTCC pretty much where they left off in MCS. 16 laps completed, and they got the fastest lap on the day, 2:33.171. It's actually worth writing down.
A huge props to Daim and Aaron Hakim as well. They managed to hell of a competition from the experienced Lai Wee Seng and Leon Koo to take that final podium spot.
Oh, look at this, battling right till the end. Mark Darwin and Wong Yu Chung. Oh, still 4 corners to go after this, and look at that defending from Mark Darwin. That's brilliant. He really is a fantastic driver technically. He knows exactly where to make himself a nuisance on the racing line, just like that. He's most probably, what's the lap times going on here?
This is a battle for the final. Yeah.
Wong Yu Chung is actually 0.02 of a second faster than Mark Darwin, but he still can't get past because Mark Darwin has made that car 10 foot wide.
This podium.
Well, this is for,
place,
this is for the podium.
Place at stake. So
Mark Darwin, instead of actually relying on power, is he left that wide? Oh, it's a shotgun finish down the straight. He manages to get ahead. He should have the inside line into 15. And if he does what I'm expecting him to do, that's right, he'll push him off to the side, and then he'll cut in and take the fastest line through there. That is beautiful driving from Mark Darwin. As always, I like to call him the smiling assassin because he's always smiling. And now, of course, he's got something to really smile about because he's defended that position
that's experience,
so well.
Jeff. That's absolute experience, not even allowing him a single piece.
Yeah, he's
coming
defended.
into
I told you,
15.
he's made that car look about 10 foot wide for the entire lap.
And as a result, he gets that final podium spot in 3rd.
and the points associated with it. That is masterful driving from Mark Darwin. Also built well off Jonathan Z's lead. I said this is my first MTCC race, and I'm quite impressed with that Jonathan Z, Mark Darwin team partnership, even though they finished 7th. That's got a lot of potential. See some of the other drivers now already out.
Confirmation?
They're coming to Parc Fermé to see
our 33. So we look like we have 33 drivers that have completed.
33 drivers out of 41. That's not bad. So wait, hold on. In addition to the 6, I'm guessing that didn't make it off the start. Who's the other driver that didn't make it?
Well, Divyesh Prajun was stalled early on.
That's right, Divyesh Prajun.
And we also had Ronnie Risman. Ronnie Risman, who was in pit.
Divyesh Prajun was trying to do a very good impression of the racing line. Unfortunately, it was a car, so we could all see it. He was not camouflaged at all. But thankfully, they got his car out of the way. And now the car's right in front of us coming into Parc Fermé. And Mio is right. Not only do we get to sit in the air condition, we get a great view of this stuff as well.
Now, of course, here we are. Rahul with the winner of the MTC category. Rahul, amazing, amazing win for you. How do you feel so far? I know, okay, we're giving you a bit of time to, you know, all right. Now we can see the smile on your face. Okay, Rahul, how do you feel?
Felt pretty good. It was a good race. I think Hayden put on an amazing first stint. I think I went out on my first lap, then 15, and SP2 flew into me. So I haven't taken a look at the car, but the other end is fairly damaged. So we lost a lot of power, couldn't really turn. But yeah, I think we built a good gap, and I just coasted the car home.
All right, all right. Would you say Hayden kind of paved the way for you? Or what was your strategy when he handed it to you?
To be honest, with the driver pairing that we have this year, it's just to kind of push as hard as we can. But I will admit the gap that he built helped us with the contact on the other end. So hopefully we'll have a better showing next weekend around, or next race rather. So yeah, I think pretty good, pretty strong start to our year, and hopefully we can do it 3 more times this weekend.
Hey, amazing, amazing. I'll be seeing you up there on the podium then. Congratulations once again, and back to you guys.
Well, that's explained why Rahul Rajmaya was coasting, but I'm sorry, Nick, I didn't see any damage to the end of his car. He's looking at it now, but that car looked pretty much fine, and getting a look at it. Oh yeah, there is, just by the door. So he did take, I think it was a bit dramatic to say a SP2 went straight into me.
And that explained why his lead was also
was being cut down, yeah, so he couldn't really pull away. But it's not that much damage. I mean, he did take a hit. We didn't get to see that hit. And it looked, for all intents and purposes, that he was all right. But so, car 333 is our next interview subject. We're going to be getting down to the pits to talk to them. That's an R Engineering car.
Now, the champion of the MT2B category, of course, we're here with Jasmine. Jasmine, congratulations, first of all, to you. How do you feel?
Yeah, feeling great. Yeah.
You're feeling great? That's all we get?
One indeed.
But you were quite, at the start of the grid, you were quite at the back, I would say. Would you say that? Or how do you feel that, how did you catch up? What was your strategy that brought you forward?
We are in the qualified P1 for the Swift category, and we just maintain the pace and just carry on. Yeah.
Just carried on. You just went with the flow of it, and you got yourself a win. Now, how did you manage the transition from your first driver, the first partner, to you? Do you think you encountered any challenges so far?
Yeah, so far, no. We asked him to pit in earlier. Yeah, when the pit opened, and then we just swap the driver, and then we just carry on.
Okay, so that was your strategy, I believe, right? So, Jasmine, congratulations once again. We will be seeing you up on the podium later. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Serena. So, Jasmine Tan there, the winner with R Engineering MT2V. Hayden Heikel, the winner for MTC. And Eddie Liu, the winner for MT2G. And that's now going to be summarized right here. That is the MTC category. Hayden Heikel in first, Bran Hu in second, Daim Hishamund in third, Lai Wei Sing in fourth, and Lim Yi Chok in fifth, and way back in fifth.
And in the MT2G, Sun Chi Po, Liu Kawai takes top spot. Ng Chon Chin, Adam Mikhail in second. Jonathan Z, Mark Darwin did enough to get that podium spot. Hai Wan Jian, Boy Wong in fourth. Lin Guan Yu, Chian Chong Siang in fifth. Muhammad Hakimi in sixth. Aman Nagdev in seventh. Lam Zi Siong in eighth. An Yu Wei in ninth. And ST Powered Private Limited in 10th.
And looking at the second page of that, Kang Ki Chong in 7th, Kwek Kian Wee in 12th, Gilbert Ang in 13th, Masiko Ida in 14th, Okwa Kong in 15th, Chani Chacha and Nam Kanech in 16th. Did it! Yep, Kun Wai, Soji Siang 17th and 18th, Eo Yun Ngong Brian and Ronnie Riswan 19th and 20th.
And Putra Adi Rahimi, who could not complete the race there in 21st. Pisau Fan, Baron Lim in 22nd.
Unfortunate.
Azrael Azhar and Liu Zuan Yan also could not complete in 23rd.
And so looking at MT2V, well, we just heard from Jasmine Tan. Li Chi Hua was in 2nd, Chong Kiat Wai in 3rd. Mark Chu Shin, Mohamed Najib Ismail 4th and 5th. Tan Ziyang Danny Chin in 6th and 7th. Lo Jiaji in 8th. Stuart Hine in 9th. And Divyesh Brajan, who we saw right in the center of the track, in 10th.
And that's the non-finishers.
13 Fs, yeah.
Yeah, Genevieve and Alistair, Shafiq and Sophia.
Well, it was a very interesting race indeed. And now let's have a look back at it. It was all sunny on everybody's faces and in the skies as well when they all took to the grid, and everyone was expecting a pretty standard race. But we got about 5 seconds of it before, well, things went rapidly in a different direction. And when I talk about that, I talk about that number 24 car hitting the wall, coming back, hitting another 5 cars, or setting off a domino effect that really did stop everything. And you can see there was absolute mayhem. Those 6 cars in the end would not rejoin the race, so it was down to 33 cars that started from the pits. And once we did get underway, after 2 laps of the safety car, we got what we were looking for, which was some bump and grind at the corners. That was turn 15. In the end, it was that high rev Dream Chaser car that set a fastest lap of 2:33.71 and was unfazed. That was a beautiful driver change with Rahul Rajmaya. He came on, and we didn't get to see him get knocked, but he did come through by just coasting. That was the other big fight, Mark Darwin and Wong Yu Chung, and there was still some action yet to come for Axel Supersports at turn 15. As you can see, Mark Darwin was fighting for that 3rd spot right till the end. And when I mean fighting, defending that 3rd spot till the finish line. But it was checkered flag time for that high rev Dream Chaser car as a gorgeous gold, and it's just picked up gold. And that's, of course, only going to help them now that we're at halfway in the season. It's going to be a big weekend, and Rahul Rajmaya delivered. So we're off for a commercial now. We'll be back in just a bit.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hankook Tire.
Welcome back to the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia. You joined us at the Sepang International Circuit for our 19th round of the MotoGP World Championship. does not get any more tense than this, potentially any more dramatic than this. The stakes could not be higher. The biggest race of the season is go. It's lights out, we're racing here. Enter Podium GP. Martin runs wide. Bagnaia seizes the inside line. Oh no, there's damage by the back. Big crash by the back. The biggest prize on two wheels is on the line next live. It's time to race in MotoGP.
The ultimate. Main technical partner for Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Ventus. Hankook Tire.
You guys are now here for the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2024. This is the 75th edition of MotoGP as well as the 25th anniversary as well for the MotoGP being held down here in Malaysia. Throughout the whole time that we're here, we have lots of activities, lots of things that you can actually do together with us here, because while we have plenty of booths, plenty of our partners who are here just for you, together with us at the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2024.
Hari ini dah macam hari Ahad. Ramai orang pack. Tengok. Saya sokong Andrea Yennon ni. Saya harapkan dia boleh podium lah. Top 5 lah, top 5.
Dia punya braking, dia punya acceleration, dia punya pickup. This is a good experience for me. Thank you Petronas, thank you SIC. Saya nampak tegang, Martin akan menang, tapi saya tak nak dia menang dengan mudah. Saya harap Peko menang today.
This is the one that will count. We'll have to see what benchmark they're setting at this race. You know, this is a treacherous corner. Marc Marquez lunging down. Oh! Pecco Bagnaia has crashed out of the sprint race. White line on the inside. Could be the white line. There's a ripple there as well. Final corner time. As solid as he's been.
Welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the MTCC 2025 Round 2, Race 1 for MT2G and V. And, well, if we've come back, that means we are very, very close to the podium.
Yeah, we see some of the cars being pushed back to their respective garage. Friends and family members all waiting in anticipation.
The GR86, that was one of the cars at the front there. GR86 free practice is now going to be on track. You can see the heat haze, and that's red hot conditions that these drivers have had to deal with today. I can hear the podium coming to life right now.
Yep. We are underway.
So this looks like the MTC podium. It's the general manager of HK Motorsport, one of the VIPs for today. Dream Chaser in second, so a 1 and 3 for Rev Dream Chaser, Superpower in second. And up top, Hayden Heichel require.
Can expect to see more of them on the podium.
Well, it was good performance, solid strategy. Car was set up nicely. Ended up with how much of a lead?
16 seconds.
16 seconds
12
in the end,
seconds.
12 seconds in the end, and that was with a half-broken car, but they also set the fastest lap, 2:33.71. So, yeah, ticked all the boxes in my book. So with MTC done, I'm going to wait for MT2G and V. Well, while we wait for that next podium, don't forget you can get great discounts on the biggest race of the year, the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2025, 24th to 26th of October. Get your tickets now at sepangcircuit.com, and as I said, look for those discounts. And the Driving Experience Center is also open now for booking. Same website, sepangcircuit.com. For more info, log on. And you can also get your car COTD, Car Open Track Day. Fulfill your need for speed and a great memory up here at this F1 grade circuit. The Open Track Day booked online now at sepangcircuit.com. Well, here we are with the, this is MT2V, sorry. So, Jessamine Tan will be taking the top spot. Is. Great interview he gave from the car. Well said to be happy about I've already won. Love it. It's going to go down in history actually. And here come the trophies. And that is the manager of facilities management here at Petronas Sepang International Circuit with the trophies.
Jessamine Tan, currently the only driver out there with a perfect record after 3 races.
Wow.
Yeah. First place, 2 consecutive top spot finishes.
That
the
is
first
not
round.
easy to do.
And nailing the second one as well. This time with Terence Lee.
I wonder if that's going to be a clean sweep for the weekend. So, there is the podium, and that is the accompanying photo call. And so now, this being MT2G to close out the podium ceremonies. So Eddie Liu, my partner, will be taking that top spot. And there they are. Johnny seen Mark Darwin in third in the end, and that was Mark Darwin defending tooth and nail right to the finish line. Chong Ching and Adam Mikhail in second. Sun Chi Po and Liu Ka Wai from Bay Racing. Eddie Liu get top spot. And I'll let you, Nick, do the number crunching for the next time we see them. Things can change post-race, and often do here at Sepang, but there is the current podium, barring any extra infringements that any of them made. I don't believe that they did, but Just keeping that option open in case. So that brings us to the end of round 2, race 1 in the MT2 category. Tomorrow's race will be just before 11 a.m., 10:55 a.m. is when it's going to flag off, so do join us for that. But don't forget, of course, that we've still got one more race coming. So TP and TP1, that's in about 40 minutes or just about an hour from now. For now, it's goodbye.